Hey everyone, just a short video for today because we're getting down to just a few days until this year's TLP launch, and I have something that I just needed to say. I just want to preface this by saying that I don't like to be negative about EQ, and I generally try and look at the positives, but I find myself having concerns. I'm concerned about Tormax, and that concern is overflowing into Teak a little bit for reasons I'll get to in a second. When they announced the TLP rule sets back in, I want to say April, my reaction was probably similar to a lot of people's reactions. Teak sounds awesome, I can't wait, and Tormax is clearly a mistake. Surely they will update that rule set with something to draw people into it. But time passed, and here we are. The weekend before Teak and Tormax launch, and it sits unchanged. It's just a standard, normal TLP with, nothing interesting to spice it up. I mean, Oakwind was kind of vanilla as far as rule sets go, but at least it had the progressive bonuses. Tormax is just EverQuest. And don't get me wrong, I love EverQuest, but it's the 25th anniversary. I guess I just expected more. Well then, you might be thinking, you seem to love Teak and hate Tormax, so why don't you just play on Teak and leave the 12 people planning on playing on Tormax alone? Well, here's the thing with that. It's the 25th anniversary of EverQuest, the year of the Darkpaw, and there's a Mischief clone ready to launch in less than a week. There's a buzz and excitement about this that hasn't been seen in a while. You have people that played Mischief and want to relive it, you have people that missed out on Mischief, but heard how fun it was and want to try it out. You have people that played decades ago and saw that EQ is still around and want to dip their feet back in for old time's sake. You have a lot of people wanting to play, and a lot of the focus is on Teak. Do you see the problem here? Starting in 2019, with the 20th anniversary of EverQuest, they started releasing TLP servers in pairs. They had Mangler and Cellos in 19, each appealed to a different crowd. In 20, you had Aridune and Rizlona, again, appealing to two different groups of players. Aridune being the most popular TLP up until that point, despite being a pretty vanilla rule set. I wonder what happened in the spring of 2020 that have caused so many people to sit at home and play EQ. It's probably nothing. In 21, you had Mischief and Thornblade, identical servers with Thornblade serving to take some of the load off of a very popular Mischief server. In 22, you had Jelinek and Vaniki, again serving to split up the population as each server had its perks. In 23, you had Oakwind and... Oh wow, did they just release Oakwind and nothing else in 23? I guess there was a pretty big population of Mischief purists prepping for some popular expansions, and maybe FTE was put in to keep too many people from moving to Oakwind? I don't know, either way, they didn't have trouble with the Oakwind launch. And now in 24, a year that seems primed to be one of the biggest TLP launches in memory, they're giving us Teak, a re-release of the most popular rule set that TLP servers have ever had, and Tormax, a server with nothing. There's nothing about Tormax that is going to make people want to roll there day one instead of on Teak. And Teak is going to be packed. I'm genuinely worried that there will be 10-hour queues and server crashes because there will be such a big load. I'm really not confident that Daybreak servers are prepared to take such a big load all at once. Don't laugh at that, I'm trying to have an angry, serious moment here. And if you don't believe me that the populations are going to be drastically one-sided, just go to the EverQuest Discord and check out the guild advertisements. I had to scroll through no less than 15 recruitment ads for Teak-based guilds before I found one for Tormax. And even that guild knows what's up because their guild name is the Heroic Few. And as of today, they only had 50 people in their Discord. 50 people. On the only guild recruiting for Tormax in the EQ Discord. To put that into context, there were as many guilds recruiting on Mangler as there were recruiting for this fresh TLP server that drops in 5 days. That is a problem. And it's a problem that Daybreak had time to fix, but it seems they've just chosen not to. And they even, seemingly by accident, put themselves in a unique position this year, more than any other year, to see the problem forming. With their name reservation system, they could have had you reserve a name specific to either Teak or Tormax, and they would have been able to see in real time the discrepancy forming between the two. And if you do choose a server, when you reserve your name, feel free to correct me. I play with a new set of names every TLP, so I was not able to reserve my planned names, so I didn't see how the system works. This info would have given them time to tweak Tormax a bit and maybe make it more appealing. part of me actually kind of likes the idea of playing on the less popular of two servers. Servers like that tend to build a more tight-knit community, and that can be fun. But for me to actually do that, the server population would need to be at least higher than what it feels like Tormax will be, and there would have to be something about the new server to make it more interesting than just regular vanilla EQ. Anyway, I hope I'm wrong about this. I hope Tormax ends up with a solid group of players that can sustain a server and they have a blast playing on it. I don't want it to be dead on arrival, I just fear it will be. I hope launch day for Teak doesn't end up being a mess of long queues and crashes. I hope it goes smooth and everyone can come look at this video and comment on how wrong I am. I really do hope that, but I guess we'll see next week. Thanks for listening to my rant. I generally don't like to make negative videos like I said earlier, but sometimes I just have something to get off my chest. Talk to you later.